Green light. Give it all you got.
Hello and welcome to the Noobs Are Us SRO Qualifier Event 4. We're at Watkins Glen today. And the drivers are finishing up their practices. Quick look at their times, though. It looks like Massini's doing a 144.4. And the slowest time right now we're seeing is 149.7. Those times are obviously going to change. We see people practicing and they may be off their lines, whatever else. But we're about to start qualifying here soon. We do have one disqualification from qualifying, which is unfortunate. And we got a driver in here that's not supposed to be in here. So let me go have a chat really quick. I will be right back. I'm going to set this back to starting soon.
Green light. Give it all you got.
All right. We are back. Who got disqualified from qualification? That would be RP. So unfortunately, he got disqualified due to points. I don't see him right now in the standings at all. He may just be joining afterwards, which is fine. But he is DQ'd from that. But right now, we got a couple drivers out on track. It looks like Chris Greider's out there. Tony Danzig. We got Tony Danzig out there, you know what I'm saying? Trying to look to see who's up first at 137. Looks like he's going to be our first car to pass the line. That's Morant. Oh, Morant. So, all right. Sorry about that again, Mr. Danzig. I'm looking forward to him too. Once we see the qualifying, we'll look at drivers to watch for the day. Danzig is moved over to the Ford Mustang, so we're excited to see what he does in this car. He's normally a Bentley driver, but he decided he's going to switch, and he said he didn't want to switch back, so we'll leave it at that. But drivers are starting to come across this starting line now. Once again, Morant's going to be leading the qualifying here. Let's get this up so it looks proper. There we go. Morant will be leading the qualifying. It looks like a car just entered or just exited the pits. It's Alatar here, so he's up ahead of Morant, but these guys are on their hot laps now. We got Massini in second, plenty of space between the two, and then Tony Danzig third out, and then car number 70, that's Seiko, coming up the hill here. And car number 60, Gomez Racing. He's got quite a bit of followers as well. You, Danzig, and Mike were doing some race practice last night. That's great, dude. I'm glad you're getting some practice for that. Oh, now it looks like we got Morant coming through the toe here. Let me open up a track map so I know what I'm talking about. Boom, boom, ba, ba, boom, boom, ba, boom. How's everybody doing today? We doing good? Track map. There we go. Open up the track map. And open up. There we go. Just like that. That works. That does not work. That works. All right. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. It's going to be just me in here, unless somebody wants to randomly join and do some commentating as well. But they should have access to the game itself rather than just me pulling somebody random in here. But it looks like first couple of laps we've had, Morant did a 144.6, Seiko 144.8, and Danzig 145.9. I'm expecting to see some good improvements on those times. Keep in mind the track is extremely hot today. So we've put the drivers on extremely hot tracks. There's going to be more tire wear. We may see some slipping and sliding going on today. And track times are going to be slower than what you would expect as well. So take a look here at car number 23. Let's watch 23 for a lap here. Where is he at? Doesn't exist. There he is. Oh, he disappeared. This is Shadshnev. Yuri, it looks like he's just come across the start line now. Going into T1. He's getting ready to go up the S's here. Turn 2, 3, and 4 all in quick succession here. It's a wonderful track, so if you get a chance to race on it, try to do that. Comes around the right turn for the S's here along the back straight. And then into the bus stop, also known as the inner loop here. This is a dangerous place. You'll see cars all over the place for this part of the track today. Then the outer loop. It's hard to get your braking and throttle right in that corner. And then go straight into the chute. This is a dangerous corner too because it's fairly blind around that corner. So if people are off track, you may not see it until the last moment. Going into turn number 7, the toe. Fairly easy cruising corner, but if you don't get the exit right, you're going to be slow on this next straight, known as the boot. And then into the heel. It's a fairly tight right-hander corner. Watch as he goes into this corner here. This is just turn 9 here. This is a hard corner, especially if those signs on the right side get knocked off. It's going to be hard to see where you need a turn there. See what I'm saying? He already went wide and kind of screwed it up. Unfortunate for him. And so now we'll finish watching the race with Barker, who was just in front of him, as he comes around turn 10 and then turn number 11. You see that pit entry line is around that final corner there. So if people don't go into that pit entry line properly and properly enter the pits and cause an incident, they may get penalized for that. Is that Glenn in Bama? I'm doing good. How are you, Glenn? Is this the Glenn? All right, let's see. What do we got right now? Looking at times, I'll switch it over to the timesheet so you can see what I see here. The best is still Morant at 144.48, and then Massini right behind him with only 0.07 of a second slower. Then Domingo in third, 144.8, so 0.4 slower. And then Seiko, 144.85, so only a couple hundredths slower than Domingo. We're going to have some very close racing in this top 4, I think. Tony Danzig, 145.9 in 5th, so he's going to have to really work his butt off to catch up on those times. Then Humphreys, like I said, he was in, last out of the times earlier. He's now in 6th with a 146.0. Slowest time right now is Barker with a 150.8. Correct me, I got to correct myself here. It's Alatar now with a 150.8. So you're going to see some racing in the back as well as the front, and then some mid-pack racing too. I don't know how much lapping we'll see unless there's some major bonks, but right now, Morant just put down an extremely quick time, 143.7. So he's looking extremely hot. Looks like he decided to just park it right here on in the pits. I don't know what he was doing. If he was restarting, he may be doing the restart. The Glen. I would like to get some Watkins Glen racing going on here in the future at Noobs R Us. We unfortunately don't have it in the rookie series because we want to make sure everybody has access to as much content as they can with as little DLC as they can. That way we can have pretty much everybody join if they need to. It looks like there's somebody off track up there or bumping around off track. That's unfortunate. I believe that was Gomez. Yep, that was Gomez. Once again, we do have live timing. You can click that and see all the times that I see. It'll be live for you to see. It's a customizable UI. So and just type times. There we go. So you can see all that if you would like to. You can drag things around, move it around, get all the information that you want in different places. You can even put the stream on it too. So you could watch the stream through that if you wanted. Which is kind of cool, kind of F1 style. So it looks like RP is in the pits. He is our disqualified qualifier today. Alvarez is not, but he is in the pits as well. So he needs to get out there and do some laps so he can get on that board. All right, taking a look. We got Devin Anthony out on track. Unfortunately, he had to kind of step away for a little while. He just finished his lap. He may be going in changing tires. But he was MIA for a couple of days. I guess he had some equipment issues, which is unfortunate. He had a pedal issue. So he looks like he's got him fixed. He's back out on track, and he's going to do some racing again, which is great news. All right, so for now, for today, people I would like to watch is Tony Danzig, because he was gone last week, and he's in a new car this week. So I'd like to keep an eye on him, see how he does. Humphreys, always got to watch Humphreys. Him and Danzig will be racing fairly closely because they're both doing 46-ish. Seiko is 44.8, so he has a chance for podium here. I want to keep a close eye on Seiko as well. Did some racing at Watkins before you joined Noobs. I love the Mustang too. It has very quickly become one of my favorite cars. I do like the Porsche 992, but if you're not ready for it, the 992 will just send you backwards, whereas the Mustang is fairly safe. And coming from the GT4 Aston, the Mustang feels very similar to me. All right, so we still got Morant out. He's done a 43.7, which is extremely rapid. Extremely fast. And then Domingo behind him, 44.2, and it looks like Domingo's chilling in the pits, which is fine. Yeah, I don't think he has to worry a whole lot about people beating his time. Massini, 44.487 in that beautiful Sky Tempesta, I can't say it, racing livery. You know, the worst part about this livery is it was an in-game livery. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and I wish that somebody in our community had made it, but unfortunately they did not. It is just such a beautiful livery. We got Humphreys in his custom Noobs R Us SRO qualifier livery he made, which you're not going to see a whole lot of if he's going to do a lot of off-tracking. And he made that all himself. I think it came out great. Chris Greider in his pretty pink and green car. He's been driving that livery since he started with Noobs R Us 2 seasons ago. Mike Cortez in the Noobs R Us McLaren, just chilling. We do have Noobs R Us representation. Now, we haven't really talked about this, but the winners of this series, the top 2 drivers, will represent Noobs R Us in the SRO esports event. The 3rd place and 4th place will be backup drivers for that event. So these drivers are racing to represent Noobs R Us in a proper esports event. So that's what they're here for. That's what they're running for. So the winners of that SRO esports event go on to, I believe they go to England for a some sort of event, driving with real drivers, real life drivers. I don't know if we'll be driving real cars. I don't know how that works, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. So 7 minutes left in qualifying, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to beat Morant's time. Take another quick look at the times. Morant 43.7, second place Domingo 44.287. Like I said, lots of racing in the top 4 here. 44.2, 44.3, and 44.8. And then in 5th place is Shadshnev, 45.3, followed by Tony Danzig, 45.4. There's going to be lots of racing, even in the top 10. So the slowest driver is 49.9 right now. And yeah, there's going to be some close racing, I think. This is a fun track to race on. It's a lot wider than Brands Hatch was, so we should see a little bit more of that. 6 more minutes of qualifying. Hopefully we're not seeing any more penalties during qualifying like we saw last week. Brands is skinny. Brands is the upcoming race for the rookie series, so if you guys haven't signed up, sign up for our rookie series. I believe the GT3s will be split again for that, so that we don't have 40 cars or 50 cars on track for the rookies. But you can see the difference in size of the series. The rookie series, our rookie series, has 40 plus drivers in it, whereas this event has only 20. That we had 50 people or 45 people signed up, but people have dropped out. There's no mid-season signups here, so people that drop out, that's it. We don't get more people, so that's fine. Not everybody here is racing for first. Some people are in the event for the livery competition. Some people are in it for the driver of the series or most improved driver, because those drivers all get Coach Dave Delta codes as well, which is pretty cool. Morant's in the pits. Looks like Domingo's out still trying to beat that time. He's not up on his time. He's actually slow. He's 0.2 seconds off the pace right now. Could probably give you that information. Yeah, you can kind of see it up there at the top. 0.2 seconds off the pace. We got Seiko out, kind of up on his time, but he's only around turn 1, so we'll see how he does. Come back to him in a minute. Grider's back and forth between 0 and 0.1, so he is actually up by a little bit. And he may have messed it up in that last couple corners. We'll see if he can make up for it, but he's got a whole second to make up. But it looks like nearly everybody is in the red right now. Massini, 0 right now, riding exactly the line that he's been riding. Seiko's now down. Everybody's in the red right now. Alvarez is up, I think. But he's also on an outlap, so he's probably going to get out of the way of the driver behind. That's Cortez. Well, he may not. Looks like he's going to get ready to hit his hot lap. Alvarez needs to put down any time to be in this this board here. He's blue flagged temporarily, but that's going to change as he crosses the line because now he's on a hot lap. So we'll watch him put down a time. Jordan Walker is going to probably use a little bit of that draft to get around people. There's kind of some racing going on during qualifying, which is not ideal. Yeah, he's just went down. See, 1.5 seconds down. Grider's up a little bit. Most everybody is down. So they've all done the fastest laps they can do. There's a little bit of time here and there that they could probably make up. We've got some bouncing going on. Massini's up on his time, but by, a 100th of a second. 100th of a second could be enough, because that'll put him... No, that won't put him anywhere, because Domingo's done a 44.2, so he needs to be up a 10th. He's invalid, too. You see that? And a bonk on the side. Hopefully we don't see that during the racing. Chachniv's up 0.1 seconds, but he's invalid as well. So even then, even the people you see that are up are invalid. We'll go back to Alvarez here, because he was up and down, and he is on a valid lap. Nice and noisy on the inside, isn't it? Love the sound of the McLaren, though. It's a pretty sounding car. All right, he's coming through the heel now. About to go into turn 9. Dangerous corner this one is. You can really get the car sideways and end up in a wall. See him having a counter steer there. Comes around the final corners. Corner 10 and then 11 on the coming to the right. He's up almost a whole second. So he's going to be in the 48s. That's going to bring him from 18th up into 17th. Unfortunately, only one position, but I mean, he's not going to be racing for last at this point. Got Mike Cortez up a quarter of a second, if not more, 0.3, but that's in turn 1. So if he can hold that time through his entire lap, he could potentially move up at least a position and be pushing 13th place as well. Just kind of keep it here so you can see the times in the top left while we do this. If you guys haven't already opened up the timing, the pit wall live timing. He's up a half a second, which is great. Half a second will move him up 2 positions, if not more. Maybe not. Looking at Devin Anthony. Devin Anthony's done a 147.1, so this will still only move him up a single position, but losing a little bit of time in that corner. These wide sweeper corners, if you don't get that exit right, you lose your time in the straights, which kind of sucks. Tony Danzig in the chat. Tony Danzig, 45.467, and he's just chilling in the pits right now. So it looks like Mike Cortez is now back to his standard time and hasn't done any better, but we got Henrique. Nope, he's on an invalid lap right now, so we don't need to really watch. Well, Jordan Walker is up 3/10, losing a little bit of time in that straight. 46.9. If he's able to improve on this last corner, he is not going to be able to do it. That sucks. He's not going to move up a position either. Everybody is staying where they're at. Tony Danzig in the Mustang this week, that beautiful blue car. Can't wait until we get a Noobs or Us livery on that. If only the guy that paints our liveries would take care of that. Be good to go. All right, last 10 seconds of qualifying. Anybody that is out on their hot lap can continue their hot lap. Anybody that does not cross that finish line, that would be Jordan Walker, I believe. Or no, Shadschniff. So if he does not cross that line, it doesn't matter. Anyways, he's on an invalid lap. He's going to practice his pit entry. Car number 70 looks like they're still up, so he has a chance to improve his time. It's not going to be enough to make up a position. He is in 4th with a 44.8. He's going to improve that, 44.637. Still in 4th place and has 4/10 to catch up to 3rd place. So he is done with his. Got a couple more drivers crossing. Humphreys just crossed with a 146.0 in 8th place. And then car 137, Morant, he was able to beat his time again, 43.665. He may just run away. As long as he doesn't get into any accidents, he will be extremely rapid. Mike Cortez is still out. He is up nearly 6/10. We'll see how he does. He's just giving it up. He decided he's not going to do it anymore. I wonder if he ran out of fuel, but he was definitely up there. So that sucks. Car number 28 is still out. We'll get a look at that. Just Jordan Walker. He's got to make up a lot of time right here. This is where he lost his time last lap, so there's a chance for him to make up some time in this corner and the next. See what he does. He's gaining a little bit of time, so he technically is up, but it's not going to be enough for him to move up either. He's going to stay in 12th place. And right behind them is Gomez. Gomez is down. He's going to practice his pit entry. That is everybody's qualifying. We have a no-name in there. That no-name is no longer in the server. Don't worry about that. That was actually one of the stewards. So we're going to get ready to run down this list. Wish me luck on seeing all the drivers' names. I'm going to do it the way that... let's see. I'm going to do it the way that Alexio does it, because I am not good at this. Let's do a helicam so you can kind of see. Maybe. Let's see. What other ones we got? Run through the cams. All right, we're going to run helicam. That way you can see the liveries a little bit. But in first place, we got Thomas Morant, followed by Isham Domingo in second. Matteo Massini in third in that Sky Tempesta Racing. I love that livery. We've got Yevon Seiko in fourth place, followed by Yuri Shadshnev in fifth. Our very own Tony Danzig in sixth in that default livery blue, black, and orange, which isn't very orange Mustang. Chris Greider, one of our veterans here in the Hot Boys Racing team. David Humphreys, one of the OG Noobs R Us drivers in the GT Racing Academy Esports. I believe that's his current team right now. Followed by Fernando Gomez in Gomez Sim Racing. Go Gomez. And then Ramsey Connolly in 10th place. Marcos Henrique, Midnight Motorsports in 11th. Jordan Walker, another Hot Boys driver in 12th place. Paolo, or I can't say that. Paolo Romagnoli in 13th place. Devin Anthony in the Noobs R Us McLaren in 14th. Michael Cortez in the Noobs R Us McLaren in 15th. Alan Barker in 16th, followed by Juan Alvarez in 17th. Nicola Vittorio. He's got to be careful. He's got lots of penalties, so hopefully he doesn't get any bonks this race. And then Shaki Alatar, and then unfortunate race or disqualification for his qualification for this race. So he is starting in last, Toth Arpi. We will be starting this outlap here shortly. While we do that, I'm going to hydrate. You guys should hydrate as well. Check your phone messages. Anything good? Nothing good. All right, 30 seconds till we start. I'll do a quick flyby down the grid so you can see all the liveries. Here we go. I got 30 seconds to do this. Whoa! There's all your cars. That's all your liveries. I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm just kidding. Go back to here we go. Helicam for the outlap here. While these guys start their outlap, we'll quickly take a look-see at the calendar. So you can see today is someone is over caffeinated. I'm exhausted today. I've been up since 4 in the morning. All right, today is Watkins Glen International. This is event 4. It's going to be a nice hot day. Once again, 41 degrees on track. After today, on Tuesday, we have the Brands Hatch race for GT3s. That will be live streamed, so make sure you guys come and check that out on Twitch. And on Thursday, the unfortunate not streamed race is the GT4s on the 6th of June. Then after that, we'll go back to the SRO series next Sunday. Kyalami will be next week. I'll be streaming that as well. And then we have the rookies finale race at Spa. That'll be a 90-minute race, so you guys make sure you check that one out. If you're racing in it, good luck in that. I'm excited to be a part of that. And then you'll also notice that the SRO series finale is at Spa. We're going to be skipping out for Father's Day weekend, so it's going to be another week after the rookie series before we get to the finale for the SRO series. It's going to be another 60-minute race, I believe. I don't know if we decided to do 120. I don't remember what it was, but I'm excited for the finale as well. The cars are out now, starting their outlap. They are coming through the bus stop here, Inner Loop. This is going to be a dangerous spot. We'll watch it. We'll watch the first race from the Helicam view so you guys can see what's going on here. I'll try and catch all the action as well. But you'll see some cars going off there for sure. They're going to come through the outer loop here. If you're not careful, you can run too wide there on the out portion of this. You see that on the top of the track there. You go too wide there, car can get really slippy and you can end up in the wall on the right. Blind corner here. We'll do an interior view so you can kind of see how blind this corner is. If there's an accident up ahead, you will likely miss it. Down this straight here, this is another fun corner. Usually not a whole lot of accidents happening as we're driving. You can actually hear him heating up his brakes as he's dragging his brakes and throttle through this here. But if there's an accident here, usually they go wide and you don't have to really worry about that. But sometimes that can affect the drivers that could be on the inside, and you can see some accidents happening there. Going through the boot here, this is technically the bottom of the boot. This is a fun area and good place to pass here too, because cars will be cautious going into this next right-hander. You hear him dragging his brakes. Shouldn't drag them too much though, because it is a nice warm day out at Watkins Glen, which is rare for New York at this time of year. I'm just kidding. It's rare for New York in general, but looks like we have Henrique for some reason way behind here. Yep, he got disqualified and moved to the pits. That sucks. He's going to be a pit start for today's race. I don't know what happened, because he was in the middle of the pack in 11th place. Coming through turn 10 here, they are going 2x2 at this point. Go back to the Helicam view. As we come through this final corner, I want you guys to notice the entry lane. Once again, I was talking about this earlier. The entry lane to the pit. It starts before the final corner. So right now we're on penultimate corner. Entry lane is right there. Oh, no, it's right. Sorry, they're moving a lot slower than I expected. There's the entry lane. they've got to come around this corner in that line in order to indicate that they're entering the pits. If they cross over that line after they make it across this to enter the pits and they cause an incident with another driver, they'll be fully penalized for that. We're coming down the final straight here. Watch it from this view.
Green light. Go, go,
It's a
go.
green light. We are green at Watkins Glen today. June 2nd, Sunday, event 4 for SRO. Turn 1. Fairly safe for the front. A couple of drivers, see how they're doing. Doing pretty safe for everybody coming through there. That's great news. Back up to the front here. Looks like Morant's going to be able to run away with this, which is great. You're going to see a couple drivers going 2 wide down the straight, if not 3 wide. Everybody is nearly 0.2 seconds apart. Actually, take that back. We got 3rd place here. 3rd and 4th place were kind of side by side for a moment. They kind of gave it up. Looks like nothing major going on in the back, which is great. Maybe a little bit of people going wide. You saw somebody off track up there. We'll see who that was. I think that was Jordan Walker. Do a quick 15-second replay. See how his entry went here. He was narrow going in. Unsafe rejoin. And just got off track. Unfortunate. And then got slippy. Went on track and caused a bonk. Commentator's curse. What's up, Mr. Bidoff? How are you? So, unfortunate for Mr. Walker. Now, we had a couple people that were disqualified from qualifying. That was RP. He is up in 15th already. He's already passed people because of the incidents in the back. And then, I believe, who was the other person that was qualified in 11th? Was that Henrique? He's in 20. Yeah, car number 9. He's still behind everything because he came out of the pits. So that sucks, but it is what it is. Right now, everybody's fairly well spread out. Got Domingo in 2nd place, just trying to get any time that he can with Morant. If he gets out of that 1 second gap, he will lose the draft and not be able to keep up with him. You can see he's already kind of broken away from Seiko. And then Seiko's broken away from Massini, but Massini has a train of cars behind him. Got Tony Danzig in that mix too. He's right on the heels of Chachnev. Going up this, oh, we got some yellow flags. Hang on just a second. See what happened here. Go to the Helicam view. Looks like he was attempting to overtake or faking it. Missed his braking point, went a little bit wide. Not too big of a deal. There was a car off up there. Okay, so he was just being safe at that point. Unfortunately, we missed the major bonk back there, so I apologize for that. The yellow flags were showing him, even though he wasn't part of it. But anyways, Tony Danzig has made an overtake, it looks like just a moment ago. But he's able to stay ahead of Chachnev. So he's pulling away, it looks like, or rather, he's got somebody directly behind him, and Massini is pulling away ahead of him. So we'll jump back up to where we're at. Fairly big gap between all drivers here. Domingo is still trying to hold on, 0.9 seconds. You can see that here with the basic. See it down there on the bottom left. He's 0.8 seconds behind Morant, and Seiko is 0.9 seconds. So once they're out of that draft, they're the slower driver, and they will have a very hard time catching back up unless Morant is able to, or unless Morant makes a mistake of some sort. Everybody's fairly well spread out. Danzig here, 0.6 seconds behind Massini. Like I said, I wanted to keep an eye on him today, and Humphreys as well. RP is up in 13th after starting from the back. So he's moved from the back to mid-pack. RP is our current controller prince. We have a controller king. He's the prince of the controllers right now. He's defending against Alvarez, or rather he has Alvarez behind him. He's not defending against him, so he's got to think about that in the next couple corners as he goes up the S's now. He's able to pull away from him, he'll be okay going into bus stop. But bus stop is a scary place, but it's fun racing too. So look at Alatar. Just got overtaken by Walker a little bit ago. He's gonna have to fight to gain that position back. Danzig is up in 4th now. Unfortunately, I missed the overtake, but he is up in 4th place and has passed Massini, and he's 3 seconds behind 3rd place. So he's got to really fight to get up there. Let's go, controller. Controller king in chat, cheering him on. We're going to watch a little bit of a race between Massini and Danzig as they come through the toe. See how they go into this corner. You see Danzig very defensive, but went back to the racing line for a split moment. As he goes into the heel. Covers eyes. Car number 9 is off again. Don't know what happened with him. Looks like Danzig may be able to just continue to hold this. I don't see any real overtaking opportunities for Massini. He hasn't really got a good enough run on Danzig. That Mustang is extremely rapid down the straight, so anytime that Danzig is able to win in a corner, it's pretty much an overall net loss for Massini. Massini is right on his bumper here. I would say that. He's 0.3 seconds behind. But see how he's pulling away, even with the draft. He's got to try and outbrake him. It's right up in behind him there. So not only is Massini trying to get an overtake done on Danzig, we've got Shadchnev right behind Massini. So anytime that Massini loses in an attempt to try and catch up or overtake Danzig, gives Shadchnev the opportunity to possibly overtake back. Now, we got RP over here with Gomez behind him. Now, Gomez is a fairly rapid driver, but hopefully he can get around RP in a timely manner. We did just see a position change in that, so I think RP was actually overtook Gomez, but see how he's coming off the line here as they go into the bus stop. He backs out of it and actually gets overtaken by the car behind him. So Jordan Walker was able to overtake, but there's a little bit of slippage going on, and Walker actually got back behind Gomez. So there's just a time loss, unfortunately. Looking up here, we got Seiko coming up on second place on Domingo. This is a race for second here. Both of these drivers extremely rapid, and currently their overall best lap time is 45.4 for Domingo and 45.2 for Seiko. But with all that fuel on board, they're a little bit slower than their qualifying laps of 44 something or other. Mike Cortez says he's behind Devin Anthony. That is Devin Anthony, that's correct. These two will be racing for position as well. They're both very close on times as well. 47.4 for Devin, 47.6 for Mike. So if Mike can keep in the draft with Devin, he might be able to keep up. Run back up to Seiko. It's kind of fallen off a little bit from Domingo. So Domingo's kind of got some clear air and feeling good. Shadchnev coming up behind Tony. 0.8 seconds. Danzig, 5.2 seconds behind Seiko. So if second and third place end up racing for position, Tony has a chance of gaining time on these guys, but he looks to be overall slower. With 46.2 is his best lap. The guy's ahead 45.2, so a whole second a lap faster. We got Gomez and Jordan racing as they come up the S's. Walker's in the lead here. Gomez is going to have the run down the straight. Maybe not. He just touched that grass. It's going to slow him down a little bit. They come down the straight. Jordan goes a little bit defensive, comes right back out of it. Gomez is able to get side by side for a split moment in the bus stop, but is not able to hold on to it as they go through the outer loop. So Jordan may be able to run away in this instance. Mike Cortez still behind Devin Anthony, only 0.6 seconds behind. And the gaps for all the drivers ahead have now moved outside of a second. I say that, but Seiko is now 0.9 seconds, so he gained a little bit. See it in the bottom left there. Just a little bit of time to Domingo. He's fighting for dear life to just stay on the bumper of Domingo. Once you're outside of that second range, you're outside of the draft, more or less. Cortez still racing Devin. His fastest lap 47.5, and Devin's is 47.45. Now Devin has been out for about 2-3 weeks, so he wasn't able to partake. Going to the Helicam, he's still got a pretty good gap behind him. Devin does. So I think he's just out of practice for now. We'll see how that race goes. Got Massini coming up behind Alan Barker here as they go into the S's as well. Right now, most of the racing appears to be between 10th, 11th, and 12th. Massini is 0.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds. He's gaining as they go up the S's and onto this straight, the back straight here. See what happens as they go through the bus stop. Massini got right on his bumper for a second. He's got the tighter corner here. Going into the outer loop and then down through the chute. He's going to try and go a little bit wider so he can get a better run. But he is right on the bumper of Mr. Barker. He's going to go offensive here. He puts it right in there. Is he going to come out the other side? Find out next time on Dragon Ball. He did not come out the other side. Massini was able to hold that position. There was just, you saw that Chris Greider up ahead. What happened with him? He got completely spun around. Unfortunately, we missed the action and can't see why, but spun around the correct way and then got past. You'll see them pass right here as they're racing each other. That's extremely unfortunate. Devin Anthony and Mike Cortez still going at it here. I wonder if Mike's going to just stay behind Devin and conserve fuel so he can stay out a little bit longer. I don't know what's going to happen with that. This is a 60-minute race. We've been 11 minutes in. Pit window opens in 8 minutes. We'll see what they do. Seiko is still only 0.9 seconds behind Domingo. Domingo has fallen off of Morant. And Morant's fastest lap, 44.9. Domingo, second place position, 45.4. I'll show you guys the time so you can see that as well. Actually, I take that back. You can't see the fastest lap times on here, so that's unfortunate. But you can see how far behind everybody is. So, anyways, back to what we were saying here. Go to this. You can see their fastest lap, 44.9, top left corner. Domingo, second place, 45.4. So he's 0.5 off, nearly half a second off per lap of second or of first place. So he's really got to work to try and catch back up. Seiko, 45.2. He's actually gone faster than Domingo. He's just not able to get any overtakes done. RP, what are you doing here? RP has fallen off. Must have gotten into an accident. He is in chat. He is not driving and texting, my guys. I think he's calling this one his failed race, or whatever you want to call it, the write-off race. Can't think of the name of it today. We got Alvarez just behind Greider there. You see them coming down the boot into the heel. Seiko still trying to close that gap to Domingo. Danzig in the clear in fourth place. Behind him by 1.4 seconds is Shadshnev. And then a whole 8 seconds behind is sixth place. David Humphreys. He's in clear air. Nobody in front or behind him. Nearly everybody down this straight is greater than 1 second behind everybody else. Mike Cortez has even fallen off of Devin Anthony. Right now, most of the racing is between Seiko and just trying to close that gap. And we had a moment where Romagnoli was catching up to Vittorio. We're at a moment, a lull, if you will, where everybody's going to be kind of chilling. You can see on that track map, nearly every car is spread out. Good look at Morant. He's coming up to a lapped car. Car number 9, that's Henrique. Henrique did a pit start for some reason after qualifying in like 11th place, so it's unfortunate for him. While we have a lull, how's everybody's day going? How's everybody's Sunday going? Good weather for everybody? Good days? It looks like we have Seiko coming up behind Domingo, now within 0.5 seconds. And then Mike Cortez coming up behind Massini. Devin Anthony got around Massini, and Massini is now trying to hold off the position to Cortez. So we have a little bit of racing going on once again. We'll see if Mike can do anything regarding that. Seiko's still just trying to close that gap as much as he can. 0.7 seconds off. 0.7 seconds seems like it's a really narrow window, but then, you know, you can get to this view and see how far up ahead he actually is. Glenn says, good day, but it's raining. Where are you at? Are you in Bama? Taking a look at Mike Cortez. He's trying to catch up to Massini there. 0.7 seconds. And we got Jordan Walker. This is a terrible view here. That one's okay. Jordan Walker trying to catch up to Alvarez. Alabama. We're supposed to get rain tonight and tomorrow. You can see Jordan Walker go extremely wide here. This is a fairly legal area, but he does have a 5-second penalty already given to him by the stewards. So he's going to get a run on this, on the McLaren ahead at Alvarez up the hill to see if there's any defensiveness going on for this. Yep, he's going to stay defensive. Walker's going to stay in the draft and then move a little bit to the left. There was almost a bonk, sending Walker once again off track. He has done that multiple times today. Well, he needs to calm himself down and take a relax and chill pill. Our number 9, Henrique, is off track here. What's going on with him? Do a 30-second replay and kind of watch. It looks like he was just driving and got slippy. Self-induced bonk. Extremely unfortunate. See all the cars driving past him in that instance. He's able to rejoin fairly safely. Had to cross the track to do it. Then stopped because he realized he got slippy again. All right, he's good to go. Let's jump back into the action here. We got Massini and Devin Anthony. A little bit of racing going on here. So Mike Cortez was not able to keep up. Looks like he actually fell off by 3 seconds. Massini's caught back up to Devin Anthony. We got a yellow flag on car number 60. That's Gomez racing. That's unfortunate for Gomez. He's usually pretty high up. Now it looks like Massini is going side by side into turn 1, is not able to hold it as they go into that apex. But he will still have the draft going up through the S's and onto the back straight. So let's see how he does here. 0.3 seconds behind currently. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Biddle. I didn't know you weren't following. I guess you may have changed profiles, right? Massini's still 0.3 seconds behind, not able to do anything on the bus stop. Take a quick look at car number 60. He is just limping into the pits. Must have fairly extreme damage if you're going into the pits 2 minutes before the pit window. So this does not count as his required pit stop. He may come in, get fixed, take no fuel or tires, and just fix the stuff because he's got to come back out anyways. Back to Massini, right behind Devin Anthony as they come through the boot. It is Watkins Glen, Mr. Rocco. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Side by side as they go into the heel. With the backside. Now this gives Devin the opportunity to stay defensive into the next corner. Little bit of paint swap in there, but not anything crazy. He's going to hold that. Is he going to go defensive in the next corner? He's not. Massini's going to attempt another overtake. Take that back. He was just scaring him. They come through turn number 10, going into the final corner. There's defensiveness by Devin Anthony. Devin is actually able to pull away after the defensive move. It could be black and orange flag. You could actually absolutely be right on that. Hopefully next race will go better for you, RP. You will be able to qualify next race, so you'll be fine. That's just unfortunate. We got some racing going on by Connolly and Humphreys. Red versus blue here as they go into the S's. This is a dangerous place to go side by side. Coming out of the S's down the back straight here. Humphreys is going to stay defensive. Kind of has to at that point. Going into the bus stop. Clobbering the curb. And is able to stay ahead of Connolly as they go into the outer loop. Humphreys is still trying to gain time on Shechnev ahead as well. I say that he's 15 seconds behind. The car ahead is actually a back marker. Defensive Anthony. Devin Anthony is one of the most fun drivers to race against. So if you're ever around him, he's extremely safe, but he's very good at being defensive and offensive. So you have a lot of fun racing around him. We watch these two go into the heel. They are side by side once again. I take that back. Now they're side by side. Now, you see that Humphreys is on the outside for the next corner, which means Connolly is going to be on the inside and complete the overtake. So Humphreys is going to have to work his butt off to try and get back. Now, he's back. They're both back on the racing line. And there's really nothing that can be done other than Humphreys being completely offensive at this point. So unfortunate loss of position for Humphreys. Great overtake by Mr. Connolly. Bus stop. Bus stop's place where it always goes wrong. Jump back to the back of the pack. We're looking at Ro Magnoli and Vittorio as they come through the boot here. Only 0.4 seconds behind. Both of these cars have some pretty severe damage. Romagnoli doing 49.2s, whereas Vittorio's 49.3s. We'll see if they both jump straight into the pits. See a yellow flag on turn 1 here. Let's quickly jump to that. That's Mike Cortez. I want to see this whole thing in action here. As they come down the straight here, it looks like he was alone for this. Rocco will take a look at Morant here in just a moment. But Cortez is alone going into T1. What happened? He just got kind of sideways and self-induced bonk while another car was already off up there. I wonder if he got fixated, but now he's extremely damaged. Hopefully he jumps into the pit this next lap. We'll watch Morant as he comes around the final corners. I will quickly hit F whatever it is until I get into his car. Want the proper inside view, right? It's F7. We'll watch F7. All right, coming down. God, my mouse is moving. I apologize. Turn 1, the 90. Way wide. You can use all of that part of the track. Going up the S's. Try not to touch the curve on the right. You can touch a little bit of this curve on the left. And then the curve on the right as well. Coming down the back straight into the inner loop, braking at the 300 for 250, clobbering the curve, clobbering the next, and the final. This corner, almost no braking being put in, not even a downshift. Like I said, be careful going wide there. Brake at that little bit of concrete on the right side back there. Gas on when you see the ambulance. All the way to the left here. Brake between the 2 and the 1. Down into the toe. It's going to get a little bit slippy there as he runs down the boot now. Into the heel, braking once again between the 2 and the 1. Can go pretty wide here too. And then all the way to the right, brake at that black sign on the right. If that sign's gone, your braking point's gone, so you got to think about that. Cortez is in the puts, as you said, correct? Braking between the 2 and the 1. Actually, you probably don't brake, just to lift and turn in. Go wide, all the way to the left. All the way out. Use all of the track up to that edge of the road there. And that is a hot lap with Mr. Morant. So, you're right. Cortez did jump in the pits. It looks like... It almost looks like Cortez isn't even... Oh, there he is. Okay, so he's still in the pits. He's getting fully fixed. You see all that damage. He's got to get fixed. We just saw a driver disconnect there, so unfortunate for them. They must have had enough damage that it didn't matter. So Cortez looks like he's pitting. I don't really see anybody else that has pitted yet. You guys can see if you open up the timetables, the pit wall link, you can see if people have pitted or not. I don't have that open, so I cannot see it. We still got a race going on between Massini and Connolly here. Jordan Walker, all alone. Alvarez, 0.5 seconds behind Alatar. It looks like the BMW is pulling into the pits, which is going to give Alvarez a moment of clear air. If Alvarez was driving slower while he was behind him, he might want to just stay out. Tony Danzig all alone. These guys are gaining positions because of the pit stops. Right now in the pits, Alatar, Humphreys, and Vittorio. Watch these guys all jump into their pit lanes. It looks like Massini and Connolly are no longer racing. Massini was able to get around Connolly and for some reason is now 2 seconds ahead. Let's see this race of these drivers in the pits. All right, there was a little bit of weirdness going on there. Yeah, the cameras are kind of funky. Looks like Alatar is leaving the pits. He jumped in first. I don't think any of these other guys had any damage, so it's a race between Vittorio and Humphreys to get out of the pits. Whoever gets out first will get that position. Mike Cortez is out on track alone, so he has some time to just think about what he's done. No, he has time to think about his line, driving safe and comfortably. We've got Barker. Something happened with Barker here. He's backwards at pit lane. He might get disqualified for this. Be careful going backwards, Barker. What happened with him? Oh, unfortunately, I clicked the wrong button and we're watching the same thing over again, so I apologize for that. We'll watch something else. Everybody is well outside of a second gap of anybody else right now, so well open gap with people jumping in and out of the pits. Barker was able to turn around safely and he's in the pits, not disqualified. Car number 25 is entering the pits. That's Chris Greider. He has some severe damage too, so coming in 9th place, he may drop down to the mid-teens, fixing his damage. Devin Anthony still out on track. Chris Greider, Tony Danzig, and Alvarez are staying out further. No damage to either of these drivers, so they're going to stay out as long as they can. Morant still hasn't done a pit stop yet either. You can see everybody just spread across the entire track. Which is expected to see during a low driver count and a pit stop. So all of these drivers, as long as they're not racing somebody, they're thinking about putting in the hottest laps they can possibly put in. Ooh, car number 38 just had an incident. What was that? He is backwards on the track. Do a quick 15-second recap. It looks like he just did it to himself, which is unfortunate. Nope. Yep, he completely did it to himself. There was a car up ahead, and I think he was just going wide for it. So now he is completely backwards. And he's got to figure out a way to get turned around. It looks like he may have done that already. Humphreys is able to get an overtake done through the pit, so he's up in 11th place. Danzig now showing 0.8 seconds behind Alvarez. I think Alvarez has done a pit. No, he has not. Neither of these drivers have. So we're seeing a race go on between these two. We'll see if one of them jumps in the pit, so they don't have to worry about the other driver here. It would normally be the lead driver that jumps in the pits. Is Tony going to attempt an overtake? He's doing a little bit of light flashing. He signaled to do an overtake. There was space given. He never did complete it, though. These two will continue to race. On to the next lap. You can see him going defensive as Danzig's got that faster car into T1. He's got a much greater run going into the S's. And Danzig is actually able to complete the overtake going into the S's. Now he's just got to worry about the reverse overtake down the straight. However, Tony, once again, has that faster car. Alvarez may not be able to catch back up to him down the straight. He's going to act like he will and peek in, try and throw Tony off of his line. It did not work. Tony is just going to run away with his position. We lost Gomez, Enrique, and Arpi. Got it. So Gomez had that major damage. Like I said, he's usually a mid-pack driver, if not higher up. Enrique had an unfortunate start, and Arpi got into a major self-induced bonk, I believe. Right now, the race is between Alvarez and Tony Danzig, and he's now outside of that 1 second range. These drivers have another 10 minutes to complete their pit stop if they haven't already. Mike Cortez, we were watching him earlier, still all alone, but he's doing some time gaining on Chris Greider ahead. I don't know if either of these two have done their... Well, I know Mike has done his pit stop. I don't know if Chris has done his or not. We know that Humphreys has. Humphreys being a whole minute still behind Alvarez, so he's got a lot of time to gain. Chris is 30 seconds behind Humphreys, which means Cortez is, if Chris has not done his pit stop, Cortez may just finish in 12th place. Jumping up to the front, got Murat coming down T1, followed by Domingo. 3 seconds behind. He's doing a pretty good job holding on to that position. Seiko jumping into the pits in 3rd place. He will not be in 3rd place after this pit stop. I love that livery. It's a pretty livery. Chachnev running down the front straight. He's moving himself up into 3rd place. I don't believe Chachnev has done his pit stop yet either. Actually, I believe... Nope, I can't see all that. Fortunate for me. So Seiko's still in 4th. Massini is able to pass from the pits. I don't know if Massini's done his pit either. So these guys that are passing Seiko in the pit, they may or may not have done their pit stop yet. So we'll see if they hold those positions or not. That puts Jordan Walker up in 7th. He's doing his pit. Got to fix all the damage from the off tracks that he's had. He may or may not fix that damage if it's been screwing him up. Devin Anthony has moved up into 6th place because of all of that. Now, I don't believe Devin has done his pit stop yet either. Because I don't think he would be in 6th. I think he'd be down in 11th or 12th. We've got a couple more laps before these guys are required to come in for their final pit stop. It looks like Mike Cortez is coming in for another pit stop. Wonder what happened with him. He may just not have put fuel on or something. That's unfortunate. That's going to put him down near last. 2 pit stops for Mr. Mike. Yeah, Morant again. Still 3 seconds ahead of 2nd place. As long as he's safe and doesn't get held up by any back markers, he will continue to hold that position. Domingo on an invalid lap. I just realized that Massini has a 20-second time penalty. So even if he stays in 4th place, he will drop down to probably 5th based on that time penalty, which is extremely unfortunate. Well, Mike Cortez is back out on track in 15th place. 3rd to last. We're seeing car number 35 in the pits, Alvarez still. Humphreys is able to get the overtake done there. Humphreys has completed his pit stop, so he should be where he's supposed to be. Walker has completed his pit stop and is in 9th. Looks like he did fix that damage. You can see a new clean bumper on him. Connolly in the pits. That's going to allow Devin to pass down the front straight. So Devin is moving up. Like I said, I don't think Devin has done his pit stop yet. It also brings Seiko up into 6th place. I don't know about you guys, but this song almost sounds like it has a mouse click to it. Kind of weird. Tony Danzig coming right behind Connolly, it looks like. So these guys should be racing for position. So he's 1.4 seconds behind with the run because of that straight. So he may be able to catch up to Connolly. Let's see how they do. I just realized Domingo's now 2 seconds behind Morant. So he was able to gain a second somewhere somehow. Gonna watch this race between Connolly and Danzig. Connolly just came out. He's on probably fresh tires, so he's gonna be a little bit more cautious as they come down the chute here. This long blind left-hander. You see a little bit of defensiveness from Connolly. Not a whole lot. Tony doesn't seem like he intends to try and outbrake him here. He may try to do it in this next corner, though. Right on his bumper there. You can see Connolly moving defensive. Tony's going to outbrake him on the outside here. Watch. Nope. He's cautious enough not to do it. So unfortunately, Tony's still not going to be able to get an overtake complete here. We'll watch them as they go into turn 9 and 10. Tony getting sideways. Luckily did not hit a wall. But that did lose him a little bit extra time. He's still 0.4 seconds behind even after the slip. So he's going to have the draft and the advantage of that Mustang down this straight. So we should see Connolly come off the line. Nope, not coming off of it. He's confident. As they come up the straight, you can see that Mustang just gaining up the hill. Tony doesn't want to lift, so he's going to go a little bit wide so he can come back narrow and go straight on the offensive line. Down the back straight and into the bus stop. And gets the overtake done and is able to hit his apexes safely. What a great overtake. Safe by both drivers. I think that was fantastic. Too much Mustang power. You're absolutely right. And the crazy thing about this is, with the LFM BOP, the Mustang actually has weight taken out of it. That overtake's done. We got Seiko here now, directly behind Devin Anthony. Devin is up in 4th. Like I said, I don't know if Devin's done his pit stop or not. So we may see a little bit of racing. We may not, as Devin may just jump in the pits. A little bit of side-by-side action as they come around turn 9, going into turn 10. Devin is staying to the right here. He has no intention to defend. Off track, back on. He is entering the pits here. You can see that there. Devin's going to enter the pits. No racing to be had between those two. So, Devin may come out. My guess is probably 9th or 10th place. Just based on the times. He has actually been lapped. Looking at that, you can see everybody here has been lapped. That's crazy. So Shadchnev getting a position up. Devin's now down in 7th, 8th. He's going to come out even further than that, I think, because Jordan Walker's 44 seconds behind. You can see where he's at. Actually, Jordan Walker having another incident. What just happened with him? Let's just do a quick replay here. He's all alone. Has the leader pitted yet? I believe the leader may have. And I think second place may not have. Then again, both of those drivers may not have. They're both on lap 21. Yep. So looking at Walker, he just got himself slippy. So I think you're right. I think P1 and P2 have not pitted, which is why they are 30 seconds ahead of P3. So we're watching Morant here. He's 2 seconds ahead of P2, all alone around him. You can see P2 coming in the pit stop just 2 seconds behind. And then Massini, 40 seconds behind and pitting. See what I'm saying here? So Massini's finally going to complete his pit. Seiko's 25 seconds behind Massini. So I think Seiko will be our 3rd place driver here. We got Barker, 0.6 seconds behind Alatar. These guys are racing for last place, which is not where you want to be. They will still get points for being where they're at, but it's not going to be enough. A little bit of side-by-side action. You see Alatar coming off the line to go defensive into the bus stop, but he more or less just let him pass. Just being safe and trying not to get any sort of penalty at this point. Massini, still in the pits. Going to move down into 4th now, and possibly 5th and 6th. You see Shadchnev pass, Tony Danzig pass. Connolly's going to pass. And yeah, he's going to come out in front of Devin Anthony in 7th place. Seiko is 1 whole minute behind Domingo and Morant, so those guys have not pitted. Morant's coming into the pits now. Domingo right behind him. I wonder if Domingo is going to skip out on taking tires and hopefully get that overtake done. We'll see what happens with these two in the pits. This has become a pit stop race. And realistically, Domingo's only chance of overtaking first is by skipping out on taking tires. And if he takes less fuel overall, he's going to get ahead of him in the pits just because of pit location, but that's not really an advantage. Kind of excited to see where this happens. Oh, Domingo or Morant's already out. Splash and dash. He did not take tires. Domingo Looks like he might be taking tires. He's already 6 seconds off. 8 seconds off. I wonder if Domingo just had to take more fuel, if that's what it was. But now he's 10 seconds off the lead driver and has no chance of catching him lap time wise unless Morant gets into some sort of accident. Seiko's in third, 29 seconds behind second place.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is closed. Shadshniv, 12 seconds behind fourth. All of these drivers are more or less stuck where they're at, except for Tony Danzig and Connolly, if Connolly can catch back up. 1.8 seconds behind Tony Danzig. Nearly everybody on track is separated by greater than 2 seconds. Connolly and Danzig are the closest drivers right now, and that's excluding the back markers. As we can see, Morant coming up to a back marker here. This is Devin Anthony's coming up on. Devin Anthony is in 8th place being overtaken by the lead driver. So we may see a track position forfeit by Devin Anthony here shortly. It's likely he'll just stay on the racing line and do a lift. He's going to stay on the racing line, continue driving. Top 7 are on the lead lap, you believe? That's correct. The top 7 are on the lead lap. So, not a whole lot of requirement right there for Devin to get out of the way. Or maybe as they go up this hill here. So yeah. Top 9 are on the lead lap, I believe. No, maybe not. I think you're right. Top 7. Because Devin has been lapped. Or is about to be. That is unfortunate, but you're still pretty good. You're up in 8th place. You know, that's a good position to be in for the overall series. We've got no drivers now. Not a single driver within 7 seconds of their opponent. I take that back. We got Jordan Walker, 5 seconds behind Devin. Jordan has killed himself more times on this track in today's race than I think I do during an entire practice. Connolly actually is within 2 seconds of Danzig. I don't foresee that being a time that he's going to catch up on. His fastest lap time was a 46.9, whereas Tony's is a 45.8. So we are extremely spread out. A lot of different pit strategies have put people all over the track. Car number 25, Chris Greider, just had a yellow flag. Do a quick look back and see what that was. He looks like he may have just spun himself around. He's going to lose positions for that. So because of those positions he lost, he may end up racing for a position here soon. He may not. He's lapping people himself. So looking back at Morant as he comes around the final corner, passing the straight, we're correct. The top 7 people on the lead lap. Domingo's still 12 seconds behind. The car behind him is car number 696, and that is actually 15th place with damage for Magnoli. Well, while all of these drivers finish up their last 15 minutes, I'll once again go over our calendar, and we'll also go over the overall standings. So, today's race, June 2nd, Watkins Glen. On Tuesday, we'll have Brands Hatch with the rookie drivers. Thursday will be GT4s. And then next Sunday, Kyalami. I believe it's going to be kind of a wet race at Kyalami as well, so keep an eye out on that. And then the finale for GT3s, June 11th. Then a whole week. We're skipping a week before the finale of the SRO series on Spa. So both of those will be at Spa. I believe they're both going to be longer races, 90 minutes for the rookies and 120 minutes possibly for the SRO guys. And quickly jump back to, I don't have the standings up, so we'll go race while I pull standings up. Let's see where these drivers are at. A wet Wookie's race. You think that's a good idea? Think about that logically. New drivers put on a wet track. I don't think that's a good idea. We are, however, going to be getting rid of the GT4s, and we will be doing an open series in its place, and that will have wet races and that kind of thing. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the standing. As we go down the standings, currently in the lead for points is Murat, and then Seiko. Now, looking at Seiko here, in second place, currently on track, he's in third. So that should keep him that place. Actually, I take that back because Domingo is in second. So these two are racing. They're going to be tied for second, I believe. Massini is in third. His dropped race was last race. But where's he at for this race? He's in seventh for this place. So it's likely that he's going to take points for either last race or this race and not really go anywhere. JJ Burr was not here for this race, but he is in fifth. David Humphreys in sixth. David Humphreys is in 10th overall for this race. So this will count for him, but I don't think he's going to move up. Gomez dropped out from this race, so he's going to definitely move down. Greider in 12th for this race. I don't foresee him moving a whole lot. Tony Danzig, however, is in 5th for this race, and his dropped result was last race. He was a DNS. So he should move up a couple of points. Actually, quite a bit of points. He may move up into the top 5. So there's still a lot of positions to be made up, and hopefully we see some major movement going on there. Quickly jump back to the... You missed what I said about an open series. We're getting rid of the GT4 series. We'll no longer have GT4s. We will have an open series of some sort that will have wet tracks out on track. Car number 13's in the pit. That's Alatar. Went back into the pits again. I believe he's just trying to finish the race at this point. He's still technically ahead of Alan Barker in last place. What do you mean by that face? You said you want wet races. It's just going to be on Thursdays. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're doing GT3s or what. Connolly 5 seconds behind Danzig. The gaps are just extremely wide right now, and I mean that in all ways possible. Looking at car 135, they're ahead of car number 70. 70 is third place, so we got a little bit of back marker stuff going on. Multi-class would be great. I agree, multi-class would be great. It's hard to fill up both classes, though. That's the major issue we run into. I'd love to do a multi-class as well. We may do a GT2, GT4 multi-class, but we're already having issues filling up the GT4s. You know what I'm saying? So, something to think about. So they're going to be doing a little bit of overtaking. Blue flag rules are going to apply here. Mike Cortez is within 1 second of Vittorio, so there may be some racing to be had yet with 12 minutes left in this race. I'm going to take a quick moment, take some hydration. You guys should hydrate as well. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all viewing today's race. I'm pulling a Mike Noss and hydrating with an energy drink. Mine's a Red Bull, though. I don't drink Monster. Delicious. All right. So, Cortez has not really closed up any gap to Vittorio. He's still within just outside of a second. The next bit of racing to be had is Jordan Walker and Devin Anthony. So they're 3 seconds behind. People to watch right now, Mike Cortez. Hey, viewers, if you're part of the Discord, if you're not part of the Discord, please feel free to join it. But if you are part of the Discord, if you would please go into the GT or the SRO qualifier tab and go to driver of the day and vote on who you think should be the driver of today's race. Because we need more votes on that. The winner of the driver of the day, not the day particularly, but the driver of the series, gets a Coach Dave Delta subscription. GT2 or GT3 multi-class, that wouldn't really work. I mean, they're nearly on pace with each other. So if anything, we'd probably do more or less a GT3, GT4 multi-class, but it's still hard to fill that GT4 spot. Because GT2 and 3 are yeah, they're nearly on pace. So we are going to see some racing between Vittorio and Cortez. Had some unfortunate bonks from Cortez earlier. Oh, Vittorio's on that inside curve and just more or less gives up the position. The Cortez goes into the pits. I wonder if he's just giving up. I don't know if he is or if he needs to get some extra fuel. So the racing is done between those two. Jordan Walker is still 2.5 seconds behind Devin Anthony with nobody else around him. We got car number 13 leading APAC here with people behind him that are actually ahead of him in position. So we may see some blue flag overtaking going on there. Car number 25, Chris Greider, just did a spin around. Let's see what happened with him. He was all alone. That downforce on the front end caused him to slip in the chute, which is unfortunate. So he's backwards there. That is unfortunate. He just goes straight back to the pits and calls it a day. No, I take that back. He did not do that. Car number 38 still in the pits. Vittorio, he's leaving the pits now, so I wonder if he just needed to grab some extra fuel. Miscalculated, possibly. Thank you for that, Mr. Biddle. Jordan Walker, 2.3 seconds. Not really gaining a whole lot of time. Once again, this... we'll watch some overtaking going on. We got blue flag overtaking to be had here. You see the car ahead here is a blue flag car, that orange car there. And David Humphries is going to try and get a blue flag overtake done. Stewart behind him waving green flag. He came off the racing line, which is kind of awkward. You see some flashing of the lights there, which you shouldn't be seeing. I'm not saying you shouldn't be seeing the flashing lights. You shouldn't be seeing car number 13 come off the racing line. Car 13 is in last place here and should be doing no defensive driving at all. There he goes. He came off the racing line there to allow car 333 to pass. And who is that? Car number 70, I believe it is. Car number 70. Now, car number 70 is actually P3. So we have another blue flag situation with these two. Right now, the goal is to just manage your position based on time. In these back marker cars, you don't want to get stuck behind for too much, or you could end up having somebody catch up to you. So Seiko is going to run up this hill behind David Humphries. He's got a great run on him here. One of the helicam as we go here. David Humphries has no need to defend. He's off the line and lifting to allow Seiko to pass safely. And he did that very quickly and very safely. So the overtake was complete before they both get into the bus stop. Seiko's able to run away here. The next challenge is car 135, who's actually racing David Humphries ahead, 2.5 seconds behind. Jordan Walker is now 1.6 seconds behind Devin Anthony and gaining on that time. So as long as he doesn't spin himself around again, he has a chance of actually catching up and passing Devin Anthony. Alvarez still trying to gain that time. Now, looking at the fastest lap times between these two, David Humphries ahead, 47.1, and then Alvarez, 47.2. The team name you say you're laughing at. I unfortunately can't see it because of the way my game is set up. I cannot see the team name. Type it out for me. Let me know what it is. Oh, for Walker? Hot Boys. Yeah, Hot Boys Racing. Him and Greider, both Hot Boys Racing. Both on the same team. Looking back, Alvarez 1.9 seconds behind. Not really gaining a whole lot. Jordan Walker 1.8 seconds behind. Not really gaining a lot. However, Jordan Walker's done a 46.3 as his fastest, so he has the ability to catch up to Devin and do it within a lap. He just hasn't been able to put it down yet. All right, so Domingo is still 15 seconds behind P1. Once again, no major gains in that regard. Domingo is coming up on the back markers between car number 28 and car number 664. Those two are racing, so we may see some blue flag stuff going on with them. Car 132, Tony Danzig, has a back marker ahead of him, I believe. He's just going to let him by down the straight. It's car number 15. That was almost a dangerous... No, car number 38. I apologize. It's Vittorio. Luckily, they both get around each other easy peasy. Nothing major going on there. Alvarez, 1.6 seconds. He is closing the gap slowly. The Humphreys ahead as they come down the boot here. It looks like we may have had a disconnect or somebody up ahead disconnected. I just saw 3 drivers jump up in position, which is awkward. I don't really know what happened. Maybe somebody disconnected and reconnected. But Alvarez is 1.2 seconds behind David Humphreys, and this is going to be a race for position. They have 4 minutes, so this will be probably the final close race of the evening. Vittorio is 1 second behind Romagnoli. Now Romagnoli is actually leading this pack. In between is Tony Danzig, so Tony's going to try and get around here. He's going to get around. Romagnoli may have slowed down a little bit too much, so Vittorio's on his bumper. There is a race between these two. We're going to see if they can get around. If Vittorio can get around Romagnoli down the straight. Oh, Alan Barker disconnected. It's extremely unfortunate. See them side by side down that straight, going into T1. Still side by side. Car number 38. Romagnoli just sent himself wide there. No fault to anybody's to anybody there. It was just Romagnoli going wide, unfortunately. So no real competition for Vittorio. He's able to just get around him. Now Alvarez is 1.3 seconds behind David. He's closing that gap. Still has 3 minutes to complete this overtake. Like I said, he is on pace with David. Once he gets in that draft, he should be able to get right on his bumper. Jordan Walker has been consistently faster than Devin Anthony, but has not been able to close this gap enough. I wonder if he has some sort of damage after his spin that he had done earlier. Back to Alvarez again. Now 0.8 seconds down this the boot straight. Going into the heel. 0.6 seconds behind. Going to the passenger view, and you can see him try to close these gaps up into the braking zones. There is a race to be had between these two. Here comes through turn 10. Into the final corner. He is well in the draft here, so he may be able to close the gap further down this straight. And they could be racing into turn 2 and 3. He's right on his bumper, gets sideways, and is he going to be a part of an accident? He is not. That is extremely unfortunate for car number 135. Just too much dirty air caused him to spin. And now he is well off behind car number 10. He is not going to gain that position. He's not going to lose the position. The car that passed him was a back marker car. Now, back to Jordan Walker. He's 1.3 seconds behind Devin. He can close this gap. He just needs to believe. We all need to believe. Everybody, if you have the points to spend, your little bonks points down there in the bottom left, use it. Use the, what is it? I don't know where it's at. I don't have it. The driver shout out. Use that. Use the driver shout out. Everybody use it. Give them some thoughts and some prayers. We're on the final lap. Final lap for everybody. See if he can gain this time and get a pass going. You want to see some Tony? All right, let's do some onboard with Tony. Tony Danzig. We'll do the final lap for Tony. I'm going to watch Jordan for a moment, but we'll come back to Tony for his final lap. Because Jordan Walker is still within 1 second of Devin Anthony. They're going to finish the race. We're going to finish the race in Tony Danzig's car. I'll call out the leaders as we're inside of Tony Danzig's car here. Tony all alone. He's competitors 4 seconds behind, so he does still have to kind of compete. Jordan Walker's still only 1 second behind Devin, so I think that's going to end like that, which is unfortunate. Go to Tony. Get an inside view, shall we? This is not what I wanted to do. Let's actually get this, though. All right, watching Tony. And let's go back to the other one. This one. As he goes into turn 1 through the 90, he does have a back marker ahead of him. Gets a little bit sideways, but nothing too major. For some reason, he has his fog lights on. You notice that? Going up the S's. Dragging out that 4th gear as long as he can. See, he goes back down into 4th. Car ahead, Alatar is just going to pull off and let him pass, so he doesn't even have to deal with it. Braking between the 3 and the 2. Clobbering curb. 2nd curb. Misses the 3rd curb over the 4th. So your leader of the race is Morant. He was the winner of the race. Domingo is about to cross the line as well. Domingo has crossed. I'm going to switch this back over to this view so you can kind of see the people. You see the leaders here. Seiko still has plenty of time before he crosses the finish line. Tony Danzig coming through the boot now. All right, Tony coming through turn number 10, all alone. 4th place is coming across the line now, finishing their race there. It looks like Tony has actually backed off a little bit, but he's going to come across the line in 5th place. So, your leaders: 1st place Morant, 2nd place Domingo, 3rd place Seiko, 4th place Shadshnev. Tony Danzig just crossed the line. You saw him cross. Connolly in 6th. Massini in 7th. Devin Anthony in 8th. Jordan Walker in 9th. David Humphreys in 10th. That rounds out your top 10 for today's race. I'm going to quickly save the replay. That way we can jump back to it. And we will do some chatting. If anybody from the race wants to jump in and do some chatting. We're going to do some interviews from our fast drivers. Go ahead and pull Mr. Domingo in here. Mr. Domingo, how are you? You got, what, 2nd place?
Yeah, man, 2nd place.
2nd place.
Finally.
That's great. I mean, that still keeps you in the standings. I believe you're in 2nd or 3rd place right now in the standings, so that keeps you up there. You are competing for a position to drive under the Noobs R Us name in an SRO series. So as long as you're 1st or 2nd, even 3rd or 4th, you have a chance of driving for us. So I think you're doing a great job staying up there, and hopefully next week you can race for 2nd as well. Or 1st.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, my one job today was just to stick with Seiko. You know, best result or best case scenario was to beat him. And I came full guns blazing with the setup today, so it went pretty well. Unfortunately, couldn't make it to Morant after we went into the pits. He got in front of me, and some back markers got in the middle, slowed me down a bit. But overall, well done to Morant. Brilliant race, and the pace is just insane, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the pit stop, because now Morant jumped into the pits, and nearly at the same time as you were only 2 seconds behind him. But whenever you guys left the pits, he left like 6-7 seconds before you. Did you take tires, or just was it a fuel thing, do you think?
I think I had to put more fuel in. I think the McLaren seems to be a bit lighter on fuel than the BMW, so it seems we both were running the same strats, so he had to put much less fuel in, so he could jump ahead of me quite quickly, and then yeah, the back markers didn't help a thing. So
Yeah,
like I said, well done to him.
I
Brilliant
was
job.
hoping, and I was secretly hoping that you'd be able to overtake him in the pits, but it just didn't work out that way. Thank you, Mr. Domingo. We're going to move on to Seiko, our third place driver. Seiko, how are you feeling with today's race?
The race was alright, although the strategy was a bit wrong, I would say. Should have changed the tires. But otherwise, yeah, it was alright.
Well, regardless of that, you still came in third. So even changing the tires, I think you did a great job staying up there. Your pace outdid everybody else behind you. So, I mean, with the hot temperatures, taking tires isn't a bad thing, you know. So,
Yeah, true.
other than that, how was your race? Anything else you'd like to add?
Anything else? The start was great. I got another overtake of Mazzini, I think. Yeah, it was Mazzini. And otherwise, I was pretty much all by myself. After losing a bit of time in pits, yeah, it was all clean, pretty much.
Awesome.
Can't say anything else.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for putting on a great show. Now, for our winner,
Thank you.
Thomas Morant, welcome. Thank you for
Hello.
being, 2 seconds a lap faster than everybody else and showing people how it's done. How did you feel after today's race?
No, the Domingo was so close, and I was panicking with the pits because I only had put 1 liter of it, so that's why my pit stop was so fast. But then I immediately after the race stopped, and I was looking at my tires, and they're completely gone. So with the heat and Watkins Glen, it eats your tires. So
Yep, absolutely. So whenever you went into the pits, were you worried that he would have that quicker pit stop and jump out in front of you?
Yeah, I knew that if he also had to put like 1 liter or 2 liters, and that I would jump my pit, then I would
Try
be
30 liters, man.
So I think,
So
yeah,
I
'cause-
was really like, okay, I need to stop here. That the mechanics don't pull the car to another place.
yep.
And also, I was very clean on the to go into the pit. I saw Domingo coming to me in my mirror. It was like, oh my god, he's so close.
I could have sworn, because you just did a splash and dash, I thought Domingo was going to do the same thing and take less fuel. So you're fortunate that that didn't happen. But Thomas, we're glad to have you here. Once again, you guys are racing for position to be representatives of Noobs R Us in the SRO series. So we're happy to have you here and show the drivers how it's done. We're excited to see you guys next week. Keep in mind the track may be wet again next week. I don't think it's going to be like it was at Brands or whichever. I think it was Brands.
Misano.
Misano. I don't think it's going to be like Misano, but you may see some wet tracks. Thank you guys for being here. Please, everybody, even viewers, go into Driver of the Day. Vote for your Driver of the Day. And I'll end the stream here shortly. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Bye,
man.
guys. See you
Awesome
next
stream.
Thank you.
Yes,
Bye.
guys.
Nice one.
Good race.
All right. I'm going to quickly throw. You guys can look at that for a moment while I find somebody to host, because we want to share the love on Twitch, right? I'm going to try and get over to the correct thing here. So, for the viewers, what did you guys think? A lot of spread out driving, so not a whole lot of close racing, but whenever drivers were up against each other, they were fairly safe and able to facilitate safe overtakes and complete them as well. So I like that aspect of it. What did you guys think? You enjoyed it? That's great. Yeah, once again, go in, vote for your driver of the day. If you have suggestions on what you think our news series should be, please send those to me. As we wrap up our rookie series, we will be putting out a survey so we can have the goods and the bads put into that. And let's see. I believe. Let me take a look here. I am banned from somebody's chat, which is unfortunate. I didn't know I could get banned from somebody's chat, but I am. So I can't host them. We might go into a German server. What do you guys think about that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and raid Herr Ronan, Mr. Ronan. All right, thank you all for being here. Please show Herr Ronan some love. I don't know what I did. No idea. I didn't know that I had any reason to be banned. Go in there, start speaking English, and show them that we don't know how to speak German. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.